Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. Now, I want to talk about the Rachel Morin case and these two other women who have been found, unfortunately, dead. That I feel there may be a connection here, though nothing has been declared yet. So, first of all, I just want to thank everybody for watching my videos, subscribing, um, for sharing. Some of you share my videos. If you know anybody who you think might be interested, I want to thank you for all of you that have sent me a super, bought me a Ko-fi, PayPal'd me or supported me in any way, shape or form. I appreciate it so much because that's what helps me keep going when I think, oh, I don't ever want to do this anymore, or if I get trolled, which fortunately is not often. These are the things that your support is what keeps me going, and this channel could not exist without you. Now, also, I've had quite a few new members that tonight, if you're watching this on the 21st of September 2023, tonight is the members live, members only live, and I will be welcoming my new members tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about Nicole Bully. We've got a couple of things to talk about: the bruises and also the findings of the independent report that was done into the welfare check on the 10th of January. But now, in this moment, I'm going to talk to you about Rachel Morin. If you're if you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome. My name's Vicky. I do talk about cases. I'm not only true crime, I talk about anything that I think people will find interesting, but especially probably concentrating on true crime. And for a while now, I've been following the Rachel Morin case. Let's have a look at Rachel. And this is in America. This is Rachel. And Rachel went missing while she was just walking on a nature trail in Maryland in the USA. And she was then found shortly afterwards, deceased, murdered, very, very brutally. I mean, reports have not been, details have not been issued yet. The police are playing their cards very close to their chest, I think, with this, as far as the cause of death, etc. But there's no doubt that it was a homicide. Then, there were some questions. It may have been a boyfriend, of course. That's the first suspect, isn't it? This is a boyfriend here. A lot of people were suspicious that it might have been to do with him. There was this guy, Michael, who's a Native American who lives near the trail, his stepdaughter actually found her body. So there was some sort of aspersions cast about him. Anyway, then, just like what nobody expected, suddenly the police declared that they're having a press conference. During the press conference, they said that they had matched the DNA from Rachel, taken from Rachel, to a case of home invasion and assault in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles, I just want to show you how far away. I mean, it just got everyone completely, couldn't believe it. Because here you can see Maryland, which is where poor Rachel was found on the nature trail. And Los Angeles, the case of home invasion had been before. I think it'd been in the April or around about that time, March or April. And DNA had been taken, but it hadn't, we don't know the full details of that yet. So all we know is they said it was an assault and a home invasion. And the DNA that they took from the person that was involved in that, they found on Rachel, all those miles away. It's 39 hours in a car. Obviously, he could have got a flight, I suppose, because that wouldn't have taken so long. But would he have wanted to, you know, show his identity? I presume you have to show your ID when you go on an internal flight in the USA. I don't know. Anyway, so he, for whatever reason, he'd gone from Los Angeles to Maryland for his the second crime that we know of. I mean, he could have done anything in the meantime or in other places, but his DNA, as far as we know so far, has not turned up anywhere else. So, obviously there's a lot of conjecture about why he went there, because the feeling is that with poor Rachel, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She was walking the nature trail as she did regularly, as many women do, don't they? And the police, well, what they've said is generally they think she was snatched. That it was an opportunist crime, but they don't know. So she could have met this person on social media before she liked social media, etc. We just don't know. We don't know. I'm sure the police know a bit more than what they're telling us because they can't tell us everything. So that's Rachel. And then they released this CCTV of this guy with a very distinctive haircut leaving the scene of the home invasion that he'd committed in Los Angeles. And they described him as Hispanic, in his sort of mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s. He's quite strong build, no tattoos, this distinctive haircut, etc. So this is the guy that they're looking for. Now, this was quite a while ago. When this is over 4 weeks ago, when they released this very clear CCTV footage. I think if you knew that man, surely you would recognise him. I still think he looks sort of military almost with his haircut there. I don't know, but of course it is a fashionable haircut. So we don't know, basically. Is he in the military? Is that why he travelled all that distance? Is he a trucker? Does he know someone in Maryland? So he just fled there after the incident in Los Angeles. And of course, there's a lot of speculation. Is he or could he become a serial killer? So I want to look now at the latest, the sheriff from Maryland. He has appeared on TV often, talking about the case. So I want to show you the latest press conference, if you like, or TV interview, really. It's not a press conference. That he made about the progress, or to be honest, I think you'd have to say the lack of progress. And much as I like this sheriff, he's very calm, etc., but don't seem to have made much progress. And it's strange, isn't it? Because I think you tend to think that once you've got someone's DNA nowadays, it's not going to be long, and especially with a good photo like that. So there's been some suggestion that the Hispanic community maybe isn't following this case so much. So they've now done a big Spanish campaign in Spanish and released lots of leaflets in Spanish trying to reach the Hispanic community because it's felt that this guy is Hispanic. But still, so far, so it makes you wonder, someone must be hiding him. Somebody somewhere must know who he is, I think, from that picture. It's so clear and everybody feels the same way. So now there's been a lot of talk that this might be a serial killer in the making, or is he already a serial killer? But his DNA has not turned up anywhere else. So let's have a look. I need to go back to the beginning. Let's see what he says.
County Sheriff warns Rachel Morin's killer could kill again, if not already. This warning comes a month after Morin's body was found on a trail in Bel Air.
Paul Gesser reports on the progress investigators are willing to share in her case and how many tips have come in so far.
We want that person identified so we can get them off the street.
Rachel Morin's murder case is front and center on Sheriff Jeff Gaylor's desk. The 37-year-old single mother was found dead last month off the Ma and Pa Trail. Her killer still on the loose.
There's a threat out there.
The sheriff this month warned he could kill again.
And if given the chance, he certainly could become a serial killer.
In a social media update earlier this month, Gaylor said he's concerned Morin's killer could be escalating his crimes from this home invasion and assault in Los Angeles to now a murder.
What would make him different from it?
Now, just stop it there a moment, because also I may need to stop it every now and again, because you just don't know whether some news stations don't like you using their articles and they get you for copyright. Others don't seem to mind, but so I don't know about this. But I just want to say, when the guy turns around there on the CCTV, it looks like he could be sort of Arabic as well. Now, I'm presuming that they think it's Hispanic for a reason. So, you know, I could be just talking a load of rubbish here, because maybe because we don't know anything about the person that was involved in that home invasion, the victim, though they did say it was a minor, a young girl, but they said there was no sex attack. So I don't know. Presumably that's part of the reason why I think he's Hispanic. Also, maybe from the DNA you can tell, but it's just when he looked, then I thought, well, he's got that Arabic look as well. So I don't know what if they were looking for someone Hispanic and he's not Hispanic, but I'm sure they wouldn't have said he was Hispanic unless they were pretty certain that it was. So just a little thought, you know, I like to, when I get a little thought occurs to me.
And the other killer that's on the loose, why was it important for you to make that comment?
Well, I think it's important because I want people to be cognizant that there's a threat out there.
The sheriff did not release details of Morin's death or the crime scene, but said detectives have received nearly 700 tips so far, some from outside the country.
Yeah, see, they still can't release full details, because when, and it will say if and when, I mean, it's got to be when, I hope, they catch this guy, he will know details only the killer will know. So they can't release details because they want these details to come from him. So that's common practice. It's very frustrating, isn't it? But it's common practice in a murder investigation not to give out all the details, because you can't compromise the investigation later on when the perpetrator is caught.
Investigators are indeed following up on every single tip.
He says those tips flooded in after releasing this video showing the suspect matched through DNA in LA earlier this year.
The most important thing is to share that picture, share that video of the suspect.
While he's asking for more tips, he says investigators are not relying on them.
A lot of experienced man hours are being put into this, and technologically and scientifically. Every end is being followed.
Gaylor added his deputies traveled to LA, then Chicago, following leads on that DNA match, and are confident the person whose arm appears in this video played no role in any crime.
It appears completely random. It appears like, you know, opportunistic.
He added investigators now have hours of video near the trail captured by cameras at nearby homes and businesses.
In the 6 weeks since Rachel's murder,
Yeah, so I expect they're ploughing their way through a lot of CCTV looking for that guy, because he can't have only been, you know, he can't have just suddenly popped up on this nature trail out of nowhere and not be seen in any shops or on the streets around, you know, I mean, he's not a ghost, is he? That just, so there's got to be some sightings of him somewhere, even if people don't, you know, haven't come forward. They'll be ploughing their way through all that CCTV, and they may already have seen him. You know, the thing is, as I say, they're playing their cards close to their chest. You just got to think it's all going on in the background, and you just hope and pray. Every morning I get up and check for news on this case, because this person is so dangerous. And you know, it makes me especially angry when people are just I mean, literally, you can't go for a walk as a woman. You cannot go for a walk on a nature trail, a busy nature trail. There's people around most of the time, and you cannot go and enjoy a nature trail. You know, women's liberty. Women are in prison. You know, they literally are. And if you don't think they are, I'm sorry, you just, you know, on a different planet, because, you know, a man could go and walk at 6 o'clock in the evening down that trail and feel a lot more safer than a woman now. Not only her, because at the same time, because there was some thoughts of a connection between her and another lady very close by, disappeared off a nature trail and was found murdered and dismembered in a lake. That was Miriam Sia. You know, because at first it was thought there might be connections there, but they have caught the guy who did that. He is in custody. Just makes me so angry. And the ones that I'm going to look at later, they were the girls that I think might be, there's a possible connection. They were in their own homes, for God's sake. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a rant, but yeah, so she was walking in this very beautiful nature trail when she disappeared.
The sheriff says he's approved $30,000 in overtime for deputies to patrol the trail. The county executive's office says he's working with fiber optic and utility companies to add cameras here to certain locations.
So he's paid out $30,000 of extra overtime for this case, and now they're talking about putting more cameras in. So that's a good thing. But you know, a camera only helps you find the person who did something. It doesn't necessarily stop the thing happening in the first place. But I suppose, you know, possible predators, they'll be more aware.
Is still a killer on the loose. He may be here, he may not be here, but we just want to make sure that everybody has seen his photo.
This weekend, Rachel's family and friends canvassed the area around the trail.
We're handing out flyers for the suspect that killed Rachel Morin.
They're hoping,
you know, and it's true. The thing is, he could be there, but he's not likely to be there now after all this with Rachel Morin. But then where is he? You know, where is this guy? I mean, something I've noticed as well when I've watched the video, if you look at these people, they are all, I think, white, not Hispanic. So unless there is an Hispanic community there, how is he going to blend into that community when he was there? But maybe there is a Hispanic community there. There's also, we found out earlier in the investigation when Johnny Blackhawk is his sort of Facebook name, when he was talking, he said that there were homeless people living not far off the trail, etc. So maybe he was living in a tent, you know, hiding. Who knows?
to reach the Hispanic community, who they say may not have heard as much about the case.
We're trying to get this word out to everybody, but a strong emphasis on the Hispanic population since they're not tuning into traditional English media.
Gaylor says he is far from calling Morin's murder investigation a cold case. The killer, the sheriff added, could still be in the area.
Have all the details, but you know, no human being should meet their end the way that Rachel faced her end. With that said, I don't know that he's not here. He'll do it again. You know, I have no doubt. I've been doing this a long time. He'll do it again if he's not captured.
In Bel Air, Paul Gessler for WJZ.
No, so he said there, I've no doubt he's been doing this for a long time. You know, I mean, serial killers normally start in their 20s, don't they? And he's sort of, they think he's late 20s, possibly early 30s. It's unlikely that he hasn't done it before, isn't it? Or, so, well, he'd done that home invasion in Los Angeles. Now, was that somebody who knew him? You know, said it was a young girl. He spoke to her as he left. You know, so I'm just making conjectures here. They said that person was not involved in any crime whatsoever. So yeah. So that's what we know so far about the Rachel Morin case. So poor Rachel, you know, 37-year-old mother of, I think she had 5 children. You know, just her life taken away from her like that. So this guy is on the run somewhere, you know, who knows where he is. He could be literally anywhere. And because of him being Hispanic, of course, there's been sort of thoughts, or because I'm saying that he's Hispanic, there's been thoughts it might have fled to Mexico, or, you know, it's not far from the border into South America, etc. So that's a possibility as well. Then over the last week or so, just something that occurred to me, and nothing's been put together. Well, I'm sure they have put it together, but nothing's been said, let's say, about any connection, because in Los Angeles, in the space of 2 days, 2 models, 2 very beautiful young girls, again, like beautiful in the sense of, you know, a very sort of, you could see Rachel Morin, she put a lot into her appearance. She was very active on Instagram, etc. And, you know, some people have sort of cast aspersion, you know, if she wants to look after her appearance, why shouldn't she, you know, and that's her thing, that's what she liked doing. And these 2 girls are both models, and they've got similar sort of social media presence, you know, very beautiful photos, etc. Now the difference is these 2 girls, they are black, and it's unusual for serial killers, but not unheard of. You know, they normally operate within a certain victimology, don't they, a victim type. And you wouldn't know, but it's definitely not unheard of. Lots of serial killers, you know, maybe their victimology is these very beautiful women. It doesn't matter what their ethnicity is. You know, if the guy is, because it's unusual just for him to, if he is a serial killer, for a Hispanic serial killer, because normally they kill within their own ethnicity. You know, so I'm talking about normally. So this is it. You know, that's a total generalization. Each case is different. But so what I want to look at now are these 2 girls, because to me, I think there's a strong similarity between the deaths of these 2 girls. So let me just get up the. So 2 models, 2 young girls, beautiful, both living in Los Angeles. And of course, the other reason that I'm thinking this is because Los Angeles is where the first thing happened. And the police did say that they felt that this perpetrator lived in Los Angeles, more likely that he lived in Los Angeles and traveled to Maryland than he lived in Maryland. And, you know, just because I expect because of his ethnicity, it's more likely that he lived in more likely, you know, this just fact of the where people live, etc. Now, the police are not saying that these deaths are connected. Let me just show you this. In fact, if anything, they've said that the 2 girls' deaths are not connected. Oh, why is that doing that? So here we go. So we've got Nicole Coates on the left. She was found on September the 10th in her apartment on South Grand. And Mooney, why they're not saying her name, wasn't it Melissa or something? Maleesa Mooney was found dead 2 days later in an apartment not far away. Look, here's how far away they were from each other. You know, a lot of police will say they don't believe in coincidences. I look, there's Skid Row, so that be where the Cecil Hotel is it? Anyway, yeah. So it's. I know it sounds. I almost want them. I want them to be connected, because I thought that there are 2 people out there that have killed. You know, 2 separate killers is worse to think that there's just one. I mean, for goodness sake. And then could they possibly be connected to the death of Rachel Morin? Now, I'm sure they've got DNA, and I'm sure the police are working. That'll be the first thing that occurred to them, be in Los Angeles. And so do you see what I'm saying about the similarities? Even though they're different ethnicity, they're both very beautiful. You know, is this man sort of targeting like beautiful women like that? So let's just have a look at them. So this is Nicole Coates. She's a model. Oh, that's Maleesa Mooney. That's where they were found. This is Maleesa, I think. Oh no, it's Nikki Coates. She had short hair in the other. Anyway, this is her GoFundMe for the funeral. Now, this is the mother of one of the girls.
¿Seguro que esto es un sitio chulo para jóvenes?
Sorry,
No sé, tío.
I have to
Saca el
sit through the
detector.
advert.
Detector, lo más actual siempre en tu radar.
Manolo, dale al router, que va un poco tiki-winky.
Menudo lanzamiento.
Ahora.
¿Alguien ha pedido merienda?
Aquí el que nos actualiza.
The most devastating
no
adverts ever.
Snacking, los clásicos de siempre, siempre actualizados.
Now at 6, a second model has been found dead in her apartment in downtown LA. And this happened just days before another model was found dead in her nearby apartment. Tonight, we have the latest on both of those cases. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Rick Chang.
And I'm Corinne Winter. A deepening mystery tonight as we learn of the death of a model in downtown LA, the second in a matter of days.
Yeah, both of them found lifeless in their own apartments. Tonight, in a story you'll see only on 5, the mother of...
So, I mean, even worse than the Rachel Morin case, they're in their own homes. Just seems worse. Now, normally when people are found dead in their own homes, they're domestic incidences. So they could be domestic incidences. You know, there could be people they knew. It could be absolutely nothing to do with the Rachel Morin case. Just struck me that because it was Los Angeles, because of the similarities between the type of women they were, how beautiful they were, etc. Is there some connection?
One of those victims is speaking out. Let's go to Chris Wolf. He joins us live from Hollywood now. He's got details on all of this. Chris?
That's right, Rick, Corinne, what a mystery this is. 2 young models discovered dead in their luxury apartments in downtown Los Angeles, just days apart. One case is considered a homicide. The other one right now is considered suspicious, undetermined. Are they related? This is a story you will see only on 5.
It's senseless, and I want some answers because my daughter is gone.
So this is the girl's, Nikki Coates' mom. Sorry, I have to keep stopping it again for the copyright thing.
It is not fair. I want everybody to find out who did this to her. She shouldn't be gone. But we need to know. We need to know what happened.
Family members of a beautiful young model who recently discovered her dead in her downtown Los Angeles apartment are crying foul play and explain they are frustrated at the lack of answers.
So this girl, it hasn't been declared as a homicide yet. So they're saying it was foul play, and one of them will explain shortly why they think so, especially why they think so. But yeah, so it's important to say that this particular death has not been declared a homicide yet.
And information coming from investigators. 32-year-old Nicole Coates, known as Nikki, told friends she had a date on Friday, September 8th. That's the last they heard from her. She didn't answer calls or texts during the weekend, so her father and aunt visited her luxury apartment 2 days later, located at 8th and Grand. That's when they made the gut-wrenching discovery.
I mean, imagine that they actually found her in their apartment, the father and her aunt.
Discovery.
I couldn't recognize her.
You feel there was some level of violence with this death?
Yes, I do.
You believe it was murder?
I believe it was. I really do. One of her legs was up in the air in a kicking position. That's not nobody that's just laid in their bed and died. I don't know.
So she said one of her legs was up in a kicking position. You know, so.
Who she went out with, what transpired there, I have no idea. but I'm going to find out. So if you're out there, you're going to get caught. You're messing with the wrong person.
The LA County Coroner's Office says the case of Nicole Coates is open and the cause of death deferred. That means the cause is undetermined and further investigation is needed. However, Nikki's suspicious death is alarmingly similar to another recent case.
So this is the other girl, Maleesa. And it's, oh gosh, do you see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I say when I say I hope that they are connected? Because the thought that there's two killers, it's bad enough to think there's one killer, but the thought that there's two, why are women not safe? Makes me so angry.
During a welfare check for concerned family members, police discovered the body of 31-year-old model and real estate agent Maleesa Mooney on Tuesday afternoon.
Hello.
She was inside her luxury apartment, Sky, at Bunker Hill on South Figueroa Street. The LAPD is not releasing any details, but confirms detectives are investigating the young woman's death as a homicide. Family and friends.
So they're not releasing any details, of course, but they said they are treating this as a homicide. Now, the police will obviously need to be very careful, because even if just one of those women has the same DNA on her as for Rachel Morin, and the police, obviously, eventually they're going to have to say that if that is the fact. But there'll be a complete hysteria. This is what the police are up against, of course. The day that they say, yes, we found the same DNA on this person and we think the cases are connected. So this person's, if it's true, will have gone from LA to Maryland and back to LA again, and God knows where in between. There will be just a general hysteria, won't they? So, the police have got to, I'm not saying that they are connected because I don't know yet, but I'm saying if they are, the police have got to be very careful when they release that knowledge.
Friends are devastated and neighbors are extremely concerned. The family of Nikki Coates is watching that case closely.
I feel myself it's a predator loose.
Anyone with
So she said, I feel it's a predator loose. Well, we know there definitely is a predator loose. Whether it's the same predator or are we looking at a different predator? It's like when Miriam disappeared, Miriam Sia. A lot of people were thinking that was the same predator that had, but it turns out it's a complete other dickhead, complete other fucking nut job going out murdering women. So you have two murderers of women in that area. You just can't believe it. As I say, that would have been preferable for it to be the same person, just to be one dickhead instead of bloody how many are there? How many are there out there? What's wrong with them?
information should contact the LAPD. We'll have much more later on tonight. For now, reporting live in Compton, Chris Wolf.
So there you go. So I just, I did jump on last night and mention it because I just wanted to mention it to you because we've been up in the middle of the night for the Rachel Morin press conference, and I certainly hope there'll be another press conference sooner rather than later saying that they've finally got this man who they've got his DNA, they've got a bloody picture of him. What more can you need to actually catch someone? Who is hiding him? Where is he? And is he connected to the death of Nikki and Maleesa as well? I mean, come on. I think, I'm going to be praying for a resolution to this. I hope you join me in that. I need prayers to get this guy. We don't know that it's the same guy that killed Rachel yet, but if it is, or even if it isn't, so you need to get him off the streets. And then if this is two separate incidents of young, beautiful women murdered in their own apartments, then they need to be got off the streets as well. Or if it's all connected, goodness me, that you know, just praying so hard, this person, because this person or these people, they're not going to stop, are they? They're not going to stop. How many more women are it was interesting they said about Nikki there that she had a date. She'd said that she had a date. Who was that date with? That's what they'll be investigating, I suppose. But you know, now with social media and dating apps, etc., you could end up meeting anyone, you know, and it doesn't have to. It's so much harder to find those people, I suppose, except if you get the phone and their details are on the phone. But they remove their profiles then, don't they, and things. So anyway, so that's a bit more information about this. You can, as soon as any little thing that I hear about these cases, I will be on to let you know about it, because I was hoping, you know, JLR investigates. You know, I like him. I think I'm gonna have to message him. Trouble is, it's miles away from Florida, isn't it? Los Angeles. He lives in Florida, nearer to where Rachel Morin went missing, and of course now we're back in Los Angeles. It's a long way for him to go, I suppose. But we could do with him on the trail, see what he can find out. He's good at talking to people. People seem to, you know, like talking to him more than maybe the mainstream media or the police, especially like in the Hispanic community. And some of them might be there illegally. They don't like sometimes talking to the police because they tend to get fitted up for everything. You know, so there's all those factors that they wouldn't get with someone like JLR going and having a little chat to people. But yeah. You know, it's, I think one day I'm going to have to get some sort of go and do a bit like what JLR does, because, you know, these things, this is what I liked about the sheriff here in this case. He's not said anything bad against any armchair detectives or social media people or whatever. They seem to be, you know, he's, even though he's probably getting loads of false, the thing is, people ring in or contact the police. Now, they don't know if what they know, you know, the information they've got is relevant or not, but, you know, they have to ring in with it because it can be something totally irrelevant. You know, like in the Gabby Petito case. Gabby's body would never have been found if it wasn't for social media people who filmed the van and pinpointed the place where she was buried. She was a needle in a haystack in a massive, you know, the police could never have found her if it wasn't for the social media people who had filmed the van. And then when they went and searched there, that's where her body was. So I must do another video about that sometime. I have done a video about Gabby Petito, but it's quite a long time ago. So there you go. I thought I'd just let you know, give you an update, let you know what's going on. What do you think? It sounds funny to say let's hope there's a connection, but I want there to be a connection because I don't want to think there's 3 different people out there doing that. I'd rather think it was this one person, and maybe one of those other crimes is committed might lead to him getting off the streets. Okay, so remember to always live and love very wisely, very carefully. If, as I say, you're watching this on the 21st of September, and if you are a member, I will see you in the members live this evening, where we're going to be talking about the bruises and the police investigation into themselves on Nicola Bulley. If you want to become a member, membership is only €1.99 a month, and it's cancelable anytime. And if you're a member, you get to join in on the members' lives every Thursday, which these videos, they are released after, but I edit them. So if you want to join in the actual live or see the unedited version, if you can't actually make the live, the unedited version, will be on the members section. Also, I'm serializing my new crime novel on there, which is only available. It's exclusively only available to members. As you can see, my novel develop. Every time I write a new little section of it, then I publish it, and then at the end I'll be publishing it as a novel. But it's a work in progress, so you're actually watching me, if you like, write this book, and it will be sort of tweaked and things will be added and possibly taken out before the end. But as I'm writing it, it is being uploaded onto the members section. Also, there's quite a lot of extra footage on the members section, photos, etc., observations that are not on the normal, not on the public section. Having said that, all my public subscribers, I don't want people to feel that they have to become a member. 95% of my content is on the normal channel. Okay, so until I see you again, may your God go with you. Bye. Oh, and let's hope that this guy is caught sooner than later, rather than later. All our prayers.